Welcome to Gossip About Gossip, powered by Hedera Hashgraph. In each episode, we'll cut through the hype of blockchain promises and explore real-world examples of organizations creating the next generation of decentralized applications, which will bring trust back to the internet for us all.
All right, so Solo, this has been a long time in the making. Congratulations on the public launch of Calaxy. How are you all feeling?
We're feeling we're feeling quite good this morning. We're super excited. It's, as you mentioned, a super long journey getting here. We've done a lot of pivoting, we've done a lot of building, iteration, and it's been nothing short of amazing seeing a bunch of the Hedera community get their hands on it and see what the future could really look like as built on Hashgraph. So it's been crazy process. Definitely a little bit sleepy this morning, but super excited about tomorrow, even more so than yesterday.
Fantastic. So, I have seen a lot of that activity. I've seen a lot of members of the community actually downloading the app, making connections, talking about it online. For those few members of the Hedera community who have not yet downloaded the app, can you give us just the very high level overview of what to expect from that experience?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think what we've done over the past couple of years is that we've noticed that Calaxy really does have an offering for every different type of user. So whether you're an influencer or creator, that's what most people are familiar with. That was our original use case and value proposition for why we wanted to build this social layer, was allowing them to extract value from their communities. So there's a lot of people on the internet that have very large communities. And right now it's a very earnings to be able to live an everyday life. And Calaxy is trying to lower that barrier to entry so that if you have a community, you don't need 100 million people for that to all of a sudden be a viable way to provide a life. Obviously, that's an extreme exaggeration, but the idea is really allowing people with the community to be able to extract it. But what we stumbled upon was a bigger opportunity to create the ultimate social layer for the future, which connects all different types of parties using a peer-to-peer network. And that's what naturally makes sense for blockchain and decentralized technologies. And Hedera enables that value transfer as easy and equitably as possible. And so, for people in the community, I view it to be, in the world of ever-changing social media, a very nice alternative to some of the big platforms that we use today, but also a primary means of communication and value transfer. And so there's a big opportunity for us to make decentralized assets fluid, create social identities that are worth having. And Calaxy creates that initial layer for all that type of exciting development to happen.
Yeah, and I think, as you talked about, you're dealing with creators who are, they are artists or entertainers or, they are experts in their field. They have spent their 10,000 hours in their field developing their talent. They have not spent that time probably, figuring out how to, how to use all the different parts of a cryptocurrency ecosystem. So you really had to make this experience, pretty seamless and easy to use for the everyday user. What was that process like? What kinds of things did you have to think about?
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. I mean, I gotta plug our designer. Chad got a lot of love yesterday. Chad Weston, Chief Design Officer. We're probably the first company in the world to ever create a position, but it definitely shows. But it's been a crazy process. I mean, we took the time to really learn and understand our community and what they were looking for in terms of a product. And I think we had a little bit of a semblance. I wouldn't quite call it product market fit because it's incredibly early, but I think we had a bit of a semblance of people being really appreciative of the time that we took to build the features and the journey in the way that we did. And so when you think about the average user, most people that are not in crypto that have to show up to anything that has to do with crypto, they're prompted with a sign in with MetaMask or hashtag equivalent, whatever it is. That is extreme friction. Most people leave the journey right then and there. And so then what happens is that in the world of Web3, you have a lot of people fighting over the same wallets that have been created. All these people are people that already use this technology, and there's a very big barrier to entry for net new wallet creation. And so what Calaxy wanted to do was create an onboarding flow that didn't stop people from coming into the party to begin with. We wanted to create multiple user journeys that make sense for different types of users depending on their comfortability with custodying their own assets. And so if you choose to create a wallet in Calaxy, you can do so at any time. If you're a creator, or sorry, if you're a general user who's not into Web3 or anything like that, you might stumble upon the wallet tab one day and just see, oh, this might be interesting to set up. And our goal is to really create even more utilities for a wallet so that people are inclined to make that decision. So like if you create different avenues or DeFi products or that kind of stuff, and make it usable and fun to use, you might actually create an onboarding frenzy of these different types of people who ordinarily would have never picked up the technology in the first place. And so things like that, bifurcating account creation from wallet creation is what we've done. We've made sure that we've done a great job and a great deal in making sure the app feels and looks like something like a Twitter and Instagram. When you think about our space, most applications aren't fun to use. Galaxy is just a pleasure to use. It's fun. You can move. It's moving around. The trailer was really nice. And so I'm going really long on this, but we've definitely taken our time to craft a user experience that scales well.
No, that's fantastic. And I think, for most folks, you can see that pretty easily when you download the application. You're able to use it whether you have engaged a wallet or not. If you are a creator, how does that process look?
Yeah, so if you're a creator on Calaxy, there's a number of ways. We believe in Calaxy as a place to grow a following and actually have it be worth something to you. Because a lot of times people end up growing followings, and I think what you notice in the creator economy, or what we've noticed a lot, is that there's an extreme friction for people wanting to join new platforms. And the reason why is because you don't know if the platform's going to be around, if you get deplatformed, or all these different types of things. It created an even bigger need for ownership. And so what Galaxy does is it creates a better means for you to be able to connect from your to your fan base, and ultimately in the future, as we introduce more concepts around identity, it would allow you to really own that audience and take it wherever you want with you. And so for us, that's kind of a value proposition for it, and the way in which creators end up coming to the platform. Luckily, we have pretty good relationships with a lot of them. To be honest, Spencer Dinwiddie, the other co-founder of Calaxy, he happens to have a couple cool friends, to say the least, that have made it pretty easy for us. And one, find information about what these people really want, and what it would really take for them to come play in an ecosystem. And I think Calaxy is going to, a crypto ecosystem, and Calaxy is going to be a really nice place for them to come and mix and commingle with persons ordinarily wouldn't, or may be too intimidated to deal with. And we also even have an application within the application, for verification, where you can go into the settings, populate your application with the few questions that we might ask you, and be on your way to getting verified. And so for us, we want these tools to be available to all different parties, and we want them to be able to allow these creators to really accelerate their content creation, professionalize the idea of content creation, and make it so that in 10 years, Solo, that wanted to be an influencer at 16, might be able to go to his parents and be able to get away with saying something like that. Then the world that we live in now, where it's like, okay, well, like, how many brand deals do you think you expect to source, or this kind of stuff? It's just a way more reasonable model to really monetizing and creating and incentivizing content creation.
Yeah, and I think you are starting to see that recognition. Maybe it's the awareness with things like NIL of, hey, I have value in my own personal brand. I'd like to figure out some of the different ways to expand on that and to capitalize on that. Are there any interesting examples of experiences or fan relationships or connections that you're already seeing happen on the platform?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of, so we're planning on going through our roster of creators. Over the last 3 years, we built quite a Rolodex of people, and the idea is really continuing to onboard them, but also maintain like a really high uptime. We are a tech company that really believes in build quality, and so everything that we want to build, it's got to be fun to use, and we have two rules: it's got to be fun to use, and it's got to work. Those are the two rules. And it sounds crazy that you have to say that, but like you would be surprised in our space that a lot of people don't have those rules. But for us, That was really important for us, and so we're going to continue to throw creators in there. But I mean, you have creators offering cooking classes, you have creators offering makeup tutorials, you have creators offering get ready with me's, where it's like this very popular thing on TikTok where you just chat with a fan, you may be doing your makeup or whatever life, and it's one of those really cool experiences that you can offer. You have Spencer's offering jump shot lessons like out of the LA area in real life. And so it's really cool to see how these experiences really, come inside and out of the phone, and they could really, be greater than what even Galaxy is as a social application. Galaxy is really not, a I say we're a tech company, we're an app company, we're all those things, but honestly, we're a company about experiences. At the end of the day, we want to develop the best experience, no matter if that's a creator offering a great experience to a fan, if that's somebody shooting $20 of HBAR to their friend, or a Dead Pixels ghost, to their friend, etc. We are in the business of creating unbelievable experiences.
Fantastic. And, I know that it has been a tremendous amount of work to get to this point. But in some ways, this is sort of mile marker one in the marathon. So where do you see, now that people are using the platform, how will you see your development beyond this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to turn into really introducing the marketplace functionality and activating the creators and really getting them excited to really sell their experiences. It's kind of like a mall, right? So like we've been under construction for a little while. The sign just went up. It's like this really nice River Oaks Mall, whatever mall it's going to be. That's kind of where we're at. The construction still smells like construction. Like you're walking, you smell wood, you smell like raw materials. That's what we're at right now. And I think it's going to turn into really activating the creators, getting them, confident to go out and really sell their experiences via their distribution channels, the audiences that they've made, so that this could ultimately, the goal is really to delete everything, and like that's kind of the hashtag. We want them to make one last migration, the final migration, and maybe this is a migration that you never have to make again, because then you have decentralized identity and all these fun things that we'll get to. You'll be able to automatically be able to go pick up and take your things where you go. And so for us, the future looks really bright. We're going to keep continuing to throw different creators in there. Definitely a few guys that are like a lot of the sports athletes are obviously deep into the season right now. So given when we chose to launch, those people should be starting to trickle in as well. And so it's super exciting for them to put up those experiences. And then on the other side of it too, I think it's really working on a lot of those core features and like those social elements. Like we never really went out to be a social app. We were really a marketplace, but looks like a lot of the people, at least today, love the social features. So kind of doubling down on those things and reading and reacting. And, we have a pretty robust, catch-all net for feedback. So we love feedback. So going into the app, the settings, and just helping support and just whatever you have, ideas, all that stuff, we're super excited about. So I think it's really tending to the community and really listening and building, what people want.
All right. And then Solo, before we wrap up today, so I'm going to ask you for two recommendations, experiences, one for myself, me, and then one for, say, one of my kids, a 13-year-old boy who loves, soccer, sports, all things outdoor and sport related.
Okay. So idea experience for somebody like Zenobia. We have some people offering some pretty cool. I think the cooking classes might be interesting. For some reason, I feel like you might be interested in that. Chef Hoppy's really good. He's really good. He's an entertainer. He's fun. So that might be interesting. I don't know if you're really big into reality TV. We just brought somebody in from 90 Day Fiance and that kind of stuff too. So like, if you like, want to ask them, it's just really funny because like I think somebody like that could offer like. I get so excited when you think about the possibilities because somebody like that could really offer something like no, let me add context to like what really happened. It could be a product like literally what really happened on 90 Day Fiance behind like the production and all that. And it's just, the person telling you like, oh yeah, actually that's what, that was staged or whatever it is, that kind of thing. So that'd be interesting. So you could actually request something like that via the special request to somebody like that. So that could be interesting. For a 13-year-old, I think the sports are really exciting. The jump shot lessons were really cool. I think that was just like a fun little throwaway thing that he did as a funny little thing. But I think that would be really interesting, or even any of the special requests that come from an athlete. You could ask them to do just about anything. And that's the beauty of Calaxy is we don't want to create different bounds. This isn't Cameo where you can only do video messages. It's not Patreon or a platform where you just have content behind a paywall. It's really meant to be endless possibilities, and we're just the best place to do it, all built on Hedera.
Awesome. Well, we will keep our eye out for any Atlanta Braves or Falcons or Hawks experiences, and keep our fingers crossed for some of those to come our way soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, Solo. We hope that you keep us updated on your progress and wish you all the best.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me.